Vigneshvar, Senior Resident from Department of General Medicine. I have 2 publications to my credit with 3 years plus teaching experience. Today we will be seeing about ischemic heart disease and overview. So ischemic heart disease has another term called as coronary artery disease. So this is basically a mismatch between the myocardial oxygen supply as well as the demand. Ischemia means there is decreased blood supply. Infarct means there is complete loss of blood supply which lead to tissue death itself. So ischemic heart disease vaguely includes many conditions such as stable angina pectoris, acute coronary syndrome, variant angina as well as silent myocardial ischemia. So epidemiology is currently the most leading cause of death globally is your ischemic heart disease. It has high prevalence in males till 6th decade. After the 6th decade, the incidence is equal in males as well as females. So currently developing countries have increased incidence of this mortality that is due to urbanization, lifestyle as well as risk factors. But developed nations have decreased incidence that is because of the better prevention and therapeutic strategies. Coming to the etiology, most important etiology is atherosclerosis. Atherosclerosis means there will be stiffening of the vessel walls. So the primary cause for that is linked with your high cholesterol diet and dyslipidemia. So what are all the non-atherosclerotic causes means coronary embolism, vasculitis, trauma and congenital abnormalities. So endothelial dysfunction, endothelium is inner layer of the vessel wall. So dysfunction in that is the primary thing which will lead to these conditions. Risk factors are, some risk factors which can be modified include your dyslipidemia, high cholesterol levels as well as hypertension, smoking, diabetes, obesity and sedentary lifestyle. Risk factors which you cannot modify are your old age, male sex as well as family history of IHD. Currently the other emerging risk factors include elevated lipoprotein A, homocysteine levels, etc. What is the pathophysiology means? It results from a mismatch between reduced coronary perfusion or increased oxygen demand. Either one of the factor affected can end up in ischemia. So usually the ischemia will result when there is more than 70% of the lumen reduction. So endothelial dysfunction as well as coronary spasm can also decrease the blood flow. So what are all the factors which determine your oxygen supply means coronary blood flow, oxygen content present inside the arteries as well as the coronary vessel resistance. So oxygen demand is determined by your heart rate, myocardial contractility as well as wall stress. What is atherosclerosis and plaque formation means initially there will be endothelial injury. So inside the vessel wall the innermost layer is tunica intima. So endothelium will be damaged and lipid which is the fat content will accumulate in the intima. So once the fat content accumulates then followed by that there will be inflammatory cells such as macrophages and T cells will also accumulate and form a fatty streak. So smooth muscle will also proliferate there and form a fibrous cap. So this is plaque. This plaque can rupture any time and lead to thrombus formation. The thrombus will occlude the vessels and end up in your ischemia. So clinical spectrum of IHD includes many different types of diseases under it, which includes asymptomatic silent ischemia, chronic stable angina, unstable angina, myocardial infarction and sudden cardiac death, ischemic cardiomyopathy, etc. So what is a stable angina means? Stable means patient is comfortable at rest but symptoms occur only during exertion. So why he is comfortable at rest and it increases during exertion or physical activity alone means there is a fixed coronary obstruction limiting the flow during exertion. So what will be the classic type of pain in ischemic heart disease means pain will be from behind the sternum. So it will be retrosternal radiating to arm as well as jaw and it will last less than 10 minutes. So what is acute coronary syndrome means? It includes 3 conditions: unstable angina, STEMI as well as NSTEMI. What is the common mechanism for this means? So plaque rupture or erosion with superimposed thrombosis is the reason. Initially, the partial occlusion will progressively become a complete occlusion. So this is a clinical urgency as it has immediate risk of death as well as MI. So what is unstable angina, what is NSTEMI? Both are different conditions, but it will present in a similar way with the classical anginal pain we described before. Both will have partial occlusion of the coronary artery. But what is the difference between them means, if you send a cardiac markers are troponin and CKMB. So these will get elevated only if there is infarction. So if these levels come positive and elevated means, then that is a NSTEMI. So if it comes negative means, then that is unstable angina. Management for both these conditions will be anti-ischemic agents, antiplatelets, anticoagulants, as well as early invasive strategies. What is a STEMI means? STEMI is complete occlusion of the coronary arteries by the thrombus. So there will be all 3-layer transmural ischemia which will lead to the ST segment elevation. So biomarkers you are doing troponin CKMB means surely both will be elevated. It requires immediate reperfusion by means of either a primary PCI or thrombolysis. Complications which can end up in a STEMI include arrhythmia, heart failure, shock. What is a variant or princemetal angina means? This is a thing which will occur in young individuals where there is only a focal coronary spasm. Only a localized area will have this spasm. These symptoms will occur only at rest. There will be transient ST elevation during the attacks. This can easily respond to your nitrates as well as calcium channel blockers. Silent myocardial ischemia means symptoms will not be there, but evidence of the ischemia will be present through your markers. So why symptoms are not occurring means patient is immunocompromised. So he can be a diabetic, very elderly, he can be having autonomic neuropathy with altered pain perception. So this can be detected only by means of stress testing as well as Holter monitoring. Coming to diagnostic evaluation, first step is always clinical with a proper history and risk assessment. Next immediate step is ECG, both at rest as well as during pain. Next is a stress testing. So next you have to send biomarkers for detecting the myocardial necrosis, and then other imaging modalities will follow it up. What will be the findings you will get in a ECG means there can be ST elevation, there can be ST depression and T inversion, there can be pathological QFs depending on the type the patient is having as we discussed before. So troponins are highly specific and sensitive for myocardial injury. CKMB levels can rise and fall faster, useful for reinfarction detection. So BNP, NT-proBNP is a thing which is a marker of heart failure. Other imaging studies include your 2D echo. 2D echo will give you information about your wall motion, LV function as well as complications. Coronary angiography remains the gold standard for anatomical definition. So CAG will be advised if the patient has persistent pain despite therapy. So CT coronary angiogram is also a thing which will give you the same information non-invasively, but CAG remains the gold standard. So cardiac MRI is a recent advancement which will give information about ischemia, viability as well as scar evaluation. What will be the principles while you are managing a ischemic heart disease patient? You have to relieve his symptoms. You have to prevent progression as well as decrease the complication risk. So strategies applied for this are lifestyle modifications, medical therapy as well as revascularization. So risk stratification will help guide the therapy intensity. So loading dose is the key thing you will remember and give first for a patient who are having either STEMI or NSTEMI or unstable angina. So what is the loading dose means? It contains 3 tablets. One is tablet aspirin 300 mg, tablet clopidogrel 300 or tablet ticagrelor 180 mg as well as tablet atorvastatin 80 mg. So these 3 things should be given first. So this is just an initial therapy which will decrease your platelet aggregation and progress. But the main therapy is you have to open that vessel which has occluded. So for that you have to do revascularization, for which 2 options are available. One is percutaneous coronary intervention, which is indicated in single or multi-vessel disease with suitable anatomy. So CABG is another thing that is preferred in left main vessel occlusion or multi-vessel disease with LV dysfunction. So what is the difference between this both means? PCI will focus only on that particular area where the pathology is present, but CABG will also focus on preventing the further ischemia which can happen in nearby sites. So this will improve survival in high risk subsets. Along with the PCI and CABG, chronic medical therapy is also essential. So what will be the medical therapy means? It includes anti-anginals which relieve chest pain such as nitrates, beta blockers and CCBs. Antiplatelets include aspirin, P2Y12 inhibitors. Lipid-lowering agents include statins, ezetimibe, PCSK9 inhibitor group of drugs. If already there is LV dysfunction present means, then you can go for ACE inhibitors and ARBs. Apart from this, adequate glycemic as well as BP control is also essential. So what are all the lifestyle measures you will do? These include smoking cessation, weight management, regular physical activity, etc. So heart healthy diet includes a low saturated fat, rich in fruits and vegetables. So diabetic and hypertension as well as your dyslipidemia control is essential. Long-term adherence to pharmacological therapy will be needed once an ischemic heart disease has occurred. So what will happen if you leave it untreated? Complications include myocardial rupture, papillary muscle dysfunction as well as aneurysm. Electrically there can be arrhythmias, conduction defects as well as sudden death. So it can end up in heart failure as well as cardiogenic shock. How will be the prognosis you can expect in a ischemic heart disease patient means? That will depend on the extent of the LV dysfunction, amount of residual ischemia and comorbidities. If you are doing a early reperfusion and secondary prevention means, then the prognosis is better and improved chances of survival. If ischemic heart disease is left chronically means that will end up in heart failure. So summary is your ischemic heart disease is a multifactorial disorder rooted in atherosclerosis and endothelial dysfunction. So if you are recognizing it early and the risk factor is modified appropriately, prompt intervention is given and long-term preventive measures are followed means, then there is better prognosis. So comprehensive care will significantly decrease morbidity as well as mortality. So that's it for today. Thank you. I will meet you in another session.